Hi everyone, welcome back to the Airing Austin YouTube channel. My name is Austin, and today we're going to be talking about House of the Dragon, Season 1, Episode 7. Yeah, we're on Episode 7. 8, 9, yeah, 3 more episodes left until the end of Season 1. I don't know where they're going to go with it. I don't know how this story is going to get wrapped up. So Episode 7 actually starts out with Laena's funeral. There's a lot of infighting going on. It is really awkward, I'm not going to lie. The funeral had a lot of weird things happen. I mean, first of all, everyone just hates each other right now. Everyone is like mentally holding a knife to each other's throats. I mean, it's that deadly here at this funeral, which is ironic enough as it is. Meanwhile, we just have awkward conversations, like with Corlys talking to Rhaenyra's son. I'm blanking on their names. I think one is Jace, and then the other, oh my gosh, I can't think of the names of these kids. I need time. They're new characters. I'm so sorry. But anyways, Corlys is talking to one of her sons saying like, hey, one of these days you're going to be taking my seat. I think Corlys just really wants to be a grandparent to these kids, despite them not looking anything like Laenor or any of the Valyrians at all. But I've got to say, it's been really great having Corlys back in the series. I've really missed him as a character. Rhaenyra is just trying to talk to Daemon the whole time. She's just staring at him from across the room, and she's trying to, like, you know, deal with all these hurdles, such as like her kids dealing with their trauma, because not only did they lose Laena, but they also lost their true father, Sir Harwin Strong. And the kids are essentially being forced to comfort other people when they themselves are the ones who actually need comforting the most. I still think Rhaenyra is doing a really bad job with her parenting. She's really just putting a lot of weight and a lot of trauma on these kids' shoulders. I mean, you can even see it later down in the episode where they get into a knife fight with their cousin? I don't even know the family dynamics anymore. That's how, like, do I even say it here? I don't know. That's how connected this family is. Aemond essentially called them a Jon Snow word, and they got a little upset about that. I mean, especially right after the death of their father, and then them just like essentially finding out who their father is, and then they can't even confront that whole situation. That's just stripped away from these kids. The way they reacted was, I mean, like, it's kind of fair. I mean, it's a little aggressive, but also kind of fair, especially with what Aemond did later in the episode. But let's go back to the funeral for right now. I kind of feel like we haven't talked a lot about the series as of late. I mean, he's just been kind of like a character who's there. Yeah, he's kind of driving a lot of the pivotal moments in the show. You can tell he's losing it. Surprised he's still alive. Anyways, I just wanted to bring up Viserys because he actually brought up one of the most heartbreaking scenes for me, which was the scene where he's like, come on, Emma, and he's talking to Alicent. He's talking to his current wife, and he's saying his late wife's name, and I don't know if he actually picked up on that because he just continued shuffling along as is, and it really made you feel for Alicent. And I mean, she went through a lot. She's doing so much just for her family. She's doing so much like for the kingdom, and she's living by those morals. Meanwhile, Rhaenyra over here is just being like willy-nilly with whoever, and I think that really justifies Alicent's emotions throughout these last few episodes, because she really is doing a whole lot, and she's doing what she believes is the right thing. And Rhaenyra being like the main character and all, and while we all really care about her, we have to admit, like, what she's doing is kind of evil from the perspective of like the world of Game of Thrones and how the kingdoms are built, yada yada yada, all that. But I also feel like that's what makes Rhaenyra a more interesting, more dynamic character, more so than Alicent. And it makes you wonder, where is Rhaenyra's character going? And at this point, where is Daemon's character going other than survival and I guess the Iron Throne? Does Daemon want to go back to Pentos, or does he want to go back to Westeros and rule on the Iron Throne with, I guess, Rhaenyra being his wife? Because by the end of this episode, they got married, and I don't know how to feel about that. I'm like, you should not do that, but at the same time, it's growing on me. Why? Why is it growing on me? What's wrong with me? Speaking more on Rhaenyra and Daemon, there was that whole scene where they were filming on the beach at nighttime, and as much as I enjoyed the dialogue and the character interaction, I couldn't see any of it. Game of Thrones had an issue with night scenes before, and I guess that kind of translates over to House of the Dragon, and I hated it. I actually turned the episode on to my phone because I'm like, oh, maybe it's my TV, maybe it's my monitor, maybe those are just, I don't know, dim for this scene for whatever reason. So I pulled it up on my iPhone, fully charged, brightness all the way up, and I couldn't see a thing. Oh my gosh, why? House of the Dragon, don't take that from Game of Thrones. You can take all the good stuff, but don't take that. I need to actually see what's going on a TV show. Meanwhile, Aemond is just over here stealing dragons and being a complete jerk to literally everyone. And I no longer feel any sympathy towards this character. He's like I don't know, a wimpier version of Joffrey. Game of Thrones Joffrey, not new House of the Dragons Joffrey. I just want to get that straight. But I kind of do think that we get off with a happy ending because Aemond ends up losing an eye, but then they also kind of backtrack that with like this incredible like one-liner where he's like, I may have lost an eye, but I gained a dragon. I don't know, I'd kind of rather have both my eyes than a dragon. But anyways, both families end up actually finding out what happens, and then that's when my favorite scene hits. Alicent goes off and her character explodes, and I'm like, yes, this is what I want to see. More of Alicent being a badass. She might be a crazy badass, but she's letting her emotions run wild, and I hate to say it, because Rhaenyra is the main character and I'm rooting for Rhaenyra and I want all of like the happiness, but Alicent, like I said, is technically kind of right. I mean, like there's some hidden motive with like her and her father kind of like getting on the Iron Throne here and there. Speaking of which, Otto Hightower is back as the Hand of the King, so congrats, Otto. There's something going on there, but I don't think it's like as nefarious as Rhaenyra and Daemon and everyone else. So yeah, I mean, I don't fully trust Otto Hightower just yet, but I still like the Hightower family. Alicent's a badass. It's really hard to root for any of these characters because I think that everyone's right in their own way. And I think that's what really makes for a good show. They're not evil to be evil. Would you steal like drugs from a pharmacy if a family member really needed it? And it's like a lot of people like behind closed doors would say yes, but like on a written test, people would write down like, no, I wouldn't do that. That's illegal. There's always a gray area. And I think that's like the best place to explore with characters like this, especially in such like a rich, unique world that is the Game of Thrones world, Westeros, whatever you want to call it. And then to cap off the episode, we have Rhaenyra and Daemon getting married. But wow, how could they have done that? Because Rhaenyra is married to Laenor. Well, they have this whole scheme where they kill Laenor. Well, you know, Laenor, he actually doesn't die. He runs off to Pentos with Carl, which is such a weird name for a Game of Thrones world. I think of Carl and it's like the llama, Carl Weezer, like what Carl? And oh my God, you know what really killed me? I was like, Laenor and his hair, and it's so freaking cool. Like it looks like this anime dude. And it's like, it's so bad. I wish I could have that hairstyle. And he just shaves it off. Laenor shaves his head, I guess so he doesn't get recognized from like the white hair. It's kind of like when it's like, oh, hey, Susie, nice shoes. And then like the next day, Susie gets a new pair of shoes because like your compliments are like just gross to her. Thanks, Susie. Thanks for cutting off all your hair after I gave you a pretty good compliment. I feel really great about that. Thanks, Susie. Thank you. But I legitimately thought that they were going to kill Laenor. Like I thought that Rhaenyra and Daemon were going to plot to kill her husband. And then it happened. And for a split second, I believed that they actually killed him. And I'm like, Rhaenyra, I hate you. I hope Alicent gets you. And then you see the scene of Laenor with a shaved head rowing his boat all the way to Pentos. I'm just glad Laenor's happy. I think Laenor, he's sacrificing a lot, but he's also gaining his independence and happiness. And like, finally, I think Laenor is kind of like the winner here. But yeah, I mean, that's just kind of all of episode 7. That's what really stood out to me. A lot happened. A lot really went down in this episode. It's like Rhaenyra, yeah, I want her to succeed, but then I also want Alicent to succeed, but they can't both succeed at the same time. It's frustratingly good, and that's why I'm really liking the show. It's so unique. It's so, I keep throwing this word out there, but it's such a dynamic show. It's not two-dimensional. Yeah, this show it's so good. Okay, other than the pacing. The pacing is weird. It's not that it's bad. I just don't think that we've seen it in this universe. I mean, Game of Thrones season 8 was really fast. Not this fast, but like they go from kids to being full-grown adults, and I don't know how to feel about it. I'm still a little perplexed by it, and I think by the end of this season, I hope to have a better shape of how I feel about the overall pacing of the show. Was it necessary? Did we need all of like this information to connect back over here? The only thing that really bothered me was the whole night scene. Please, Please stop doing that. So what did you guys think overall about episode 7? I thought it was really good. I don't think it was as good as the last episode actually, but I think the scenes that we got really help build out what we're going to be facing later on. I thought it was really good. I would definitely give it maybe like an 8 out of 10 overall. Yeah, there's some things that I had issues with, such as the lighting. But yeah, those are just kind of my thoughts in the episode. Definitely like an 8 out of 10. Good follow-up to the last episode. Again, what did you guys think of this episode, episode 7? Looking forward to seeing your comments down below. Also, if you guys really want to help out the channel, I highly recommend leaving a like and a comment. All that engagement really helps push out the channel to other viewers who watch similar content. And we are trying to actually grow the channel to about 500 subscribers to unlock the community tab by the end of this year, before 2023, if not early 2023. So if you guys want to help out and subscribe to the channel, we're going to be pushing out more content as much as we can. So we are going to be streaming tomorrow on October 4th at 7 o'clock. We are going to be finishing up The Quarry. That's going to be the finale. We're going to see what's going to be going on with all those characters. It's going to be super fun. So be sure to stop by, say hi, and support the stream, support the channel. I would really appreciate it. Other than that, just go ahead and bring your PJs, get some hot chocolate, and sit back and enjoy the live stream. It's going to be spooky. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. And I hope to get a much better ending this time around. Other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.